record here. All right. Hi, Spartan Race Canada. I am here with Kassidee Bur today, and we are going to have a fabulous conversation about our Spartan race season, what's to come next, and how are you today, Kassidee?
I'm doing really well, and thank you very much for having me on here. I'm so excited to talk with you this morning.
No problem. Very excited. Like we had a little bit of a pre-race, not pre-race, a pre-podcast chat here. It is super exciting to see up and coming racers, especially female racers. Let more females into the sport.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to have more females racing in age group, especially. I've been trying to get more people from my gym to come try Spartan. We had a pretty big turnout last year, so that was exciting.
Yeah, and you are in an age category that is very underrepresented for both female and male, 18 to 24 at this point. When did you start Spartan racing?
I grew up being a competitive figure skater, so I stopped doing that in May of 2021, I believe. Or no,
Hmm.
that would have been May 2022. I had several foot surgeries from that. And a coach at the gym that I was working out at had told me about Spartan, and I thought, wow, that sounds like the coolest thing ever. And I had thought, like, maybe in 10 years I'll try one when I'm as fit as Susie is. And then I ended up doing one that summer, several months after my first foot surgery, and I loved it so much. I signed up for the 10K in Red Deer. I ended up going back for the 5K the next day, and then did the Beast in Kelowna in a or the month after that.
Oh, nice. So, did you spend a lot of your childhood racing to the ice every night and before school and all of those things?
Yes, definitely. I was skating before school most days in high school, and then after school as well for several hours. I coached skating for a few years too, from about 16 to 19 years old.
Oh,
And
nice.
then, yeah.
So that seems to translate quite well between obstacles and doing big tricks and jumps and balance and all of that. How did you find the transition between the two?
I was devastated at first when I couldn't continue skating, but I think everything worked out for the better, honestly. Like, I love Spartan so much more than I ever loved skating. I never really liked the artistic side of skating, like dancing and having to have everybody watching you and performing. So I like with Spartan, it's more, you're kind of just on your own in the trails, and I really like that about it.
And you don't have to be pretty out there.
Yes, that
I
takes a lot
know
of pressure off.
I am a former dance mom, competitive
Wow.
dance mom. So I watched my daughter do the same, similar kind of thing, different sport, but it was so many practices and so many things. And you had to be so good at that. Plus, look nice and smile and make sure your toes are pointed and all of those things. And you're right, going to Spartan, it's a very similar thing. You get to push your body, you get to do all those things, but it's all about what your body can do. So that must seem a lot. I know my daughter loves that. So she actually transitioned to Spartan after dance
No
as well.
way.
Yeah. And she's actually around your age, in the
Oh,
same age
cool.
category. Yeah. So that is a very neat thing to transition from those high intense sports into something that's still and can be really intense and high level, but in such a different way. So it's very neat to see that. Actually, that should be almost a requirement after sport because there's something that happens to a child athlete who's grown up doing sports. You spend your whole life thinking about different competitions, and then it does end for many, many athletes at some point, and there's a depression after that. It's very sad. It's not good. And it's almost like if you had something to go to right away that could also be competitive, a new direction, that is very important, I think, for young people. So this could be a big promo for any childhood sport transition.
Yeah, that gets me so excited talking about that. That would even be like a really cool business idea, even to have like a program transitioning child athletes into Spartan racing. Because I
Oh my
think
gosh.
it's
Hmm.
any sport can go into it. And I don't know what I would have
Absolutely.
done if I hadn't found Spartan, because I always used to worry, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do after I'm done skating?
And it's so great as a child athlete, a young athlete, to learn that discipline and learn that about sports, but it's got that transition period that's really hard. I actually remember that even as a kid in I played a lot of different sports as a kid, but even knowing it was my last season of baseball or something, it always kind of it was sad. It was like breaking up with someone or something, breaking up with your sport. We see that with high level competitions. So there's world championships coming up for DECA and Spartan. And when someone puts all their time and energy into that, when it's over, there's a bit of a letdown after. So I think just having okay, now it's a new season, time to put new races on the calendar, time to decide what my focus is. So, and that's a good leading in question to the next thing that I want to talk about with you, which is the Spartan National Series. You really got into that this year, and let's talk about that.
Yeah, so last year in 2024, it was my goal to win the national series in my age group. I was coming off my third foot surgery and I had been off running for about 7 months. So I was biking like 5 to 7 times a week to try and stay in shape for that. And then I was able to win last year, and then same thing for this year again. I felt really strong in Red Deer and Blue Mountain as well. The Mont Tremblant race, I kind of hurt my neck during that race, or on
Uh-oh.
the day before on the stairway to Sparta. So I ran a lot of penalty loops on the 10K in Mont Tremblant.
hmm
But I think my favorite race was probably be the 10K in Red Deer. I really enjoyed that one this year.
Yeah, that's a fast and flat course out in your neighborhood too. How far away are you from that?
I'm about 90 minutes away. But this
Okay.
year I got a hotel and stayed with a friend, which was a lot nicer than having to wake up at like 4 a.m. and drive there.
Oh, yes. The longer I race, the more comforting things I do.
Yeah.
Every year it's okay, now I'm going to stay just a little bit closer to the venue. Okay, just a little bit closer. Just that 15 minutes. I'm not a morning person. Are you a morning person or are you a night
I
person?
kind of have to be a morning person. I coach at a couple studios in Edmonton here, and
Okay.
our morning classes are at 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. So I've gotten used to waking up at 4:30.
So you have no choice.
Yeah.
All right. So you're coaching, you are also in school. How do you manage all of those things, including your training?
For me, my training is definitely my first priority. So I think it kind of motivates me to get all my schoolwork done proactively and stay on top of that so that I can always focus on my training and I'm never missing any workouts. As far as coaching goes, that's pretty flexible with my school schedule because I'm usually either doing a couple of classes in the morning or a couple of classes in the evening. So I can usually stay after and work out or come early and do my own workouts beforehand.
Nice. So do you normally train by yourself or with groups of people?
I would say I do like 80 to 90% of the training by myself, but I usually do like a couple of classes at the studios that I work at every week.
hmm So what's your favorite distance in Spartan?
Definitely the 21K. I like the longer the better. The 5K kind of stresses me out because with the spear throw, I feel like there's not a lot of room for air, and I
hmm
have not been very successful with that. But I would like to really try the ultra race next year. That's one of my goals.
Yes, you absolutely should.
I know you've run lots of them. I'd love to talk to you
Yeah.
more about that.
Oh my goodness, you should just do it if you've done the 21K and you've had experience coming back the next day to do fives and the tens, you're fine. You can do it. It's just a different mindset. Especially if you just did the Blue Mountain one. That felt honestly, in my personal experience, it almost felt worse than the Ultra. It's
Really? That
almost
makes me feel good.
because in the Ultra, I knew it was going to be painful. I knew it was going to be all day long. I knew it was going to be times where I was just like, just keep moving, just keep moving. Don't, you're not giving up. But the Beast this year, I don't know what it was, if it was me, it just felt like a sufferfest from about 10K on.
I heard that from a lot of people this year. And
Yeah.
I always feel like Blue Mountain is the hardest Canadian race, at least that I've participated in.
Yeah. And to be honest, Mont Tremblant does have a higher elevation, but Blue Mountain, somehow Nick and the race crew just finds a way to make Blue Mountain feel just like Tremblant to me. So, and I've heard
Yeah.
that before. did you have a 10K moment or anything like that in the Beast this year?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I felt kind of tired just like even off the start, and I think I regretted wearing a long sleeve. I should have gone without that. I ended up taking that off on one of the hills, but I think I was like by the last like 3 or 4 kilometers, I couldn't wait for it to be done.
Yeah, I feel like I, I think someone ran by me at I think there were six ups. I,
Yes,
for
that
some
sounds
reason,
right.
thought there were four or five. I didn't really pay much attention. I just thought we're going to go. We're not going to get ourselves stressed out. You've done this a million times. And I feel like someone ran by and said, only two more hills. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could. I'm done now.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mentally challenging for sure.
Some of the hills going up on the back half. I feel like the first 10K, I was like, wow, I am flying. I am doing so well. I am going to be around the 3 hour mark. And then I was more like the 3:30, 3:40 by the time the back end came along. So what I love about this though is it can be the same course next year, and my body and brain could react completely differently. Like it's so interesting that way. So,
Yeah, I love that too. And then kind of back to what we were talking about earlier with Spartan, I love seeing that there's so many adults in their 40s, 50s, and 60s out there still racing. It makes me really excited for when I'm that age
I
and can
know
continue doing this for my whole life.
I feel the same way. Sometimes I see people and I know them, I see them year after year, and I'm like, this is fantastic. You are still out there. You're kicking my butt, and I'm going to try and keep up. And, and you're right, it's inspiring to see that. It's also inspiring for me to see on the other side, the young people. And when I see somebody new in the racing scene, I'm always like so excited, hoping that they'll stay, and especially new people who come to age groups. So if you're listening and you have not tried an age group race, especially in the 18-24 female, come and race with Kassidee here.
And you have nothing to lose, especially for going open versus age group. I think a lot of people are so intimidated, but when you're doing open, you don't get a podium medal. And if you
No.
do age group, and you have a chance to potentially get one. And if
Yeah.
not, then it's the same outcome as if you were to have stayed in open, I think.
And you don't have to take it as seriously either. It's not like you have to race and be the top. Nobody notices. There's multiple heats. Sometimes I'm in the front heats, sometimes I'm in the back heats. I see the same people, and it's great. People are always excited. Also, if you are just wanting to go to sometimes you'll see on in the chats, you'll hear people talking about people missing things and not completing this and doing that in open. Well, in the open race, it's kind of for fun. It's just to test out Spartan. A lot of people are brand new. If you want a more serious, more a race where people are taking the rules a lot more serious, you want to go into age group for sure, no matter how fast or slow you are.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm
Plus, we get to
excited
go
to,
first.
yeah, exactly. I like starting in the morning, then you get to beat the heat and everything.
Yes, even though I do not love to wake up in the morning. I'm definitely an evening racer. If
Oh,
there's
wow.
races at night, I've done the 12-hour toughest mudder, which I'm hoping comes back again, but it starts at 8 p.m. and
Oh,
goes
I
till
didn't know
8 p.m.
that. I just
Yeah.
always assumed it started in the morning. That's
So there
crazy.
is a 24-hour one, which is in the UK again this year. It looks amazing. Another bucket list for me. But the 12-hour toughest always started in the evening, which was like,
Wow.
I loved that. It was so much fun. So yeah, there's so many places to go too with Spartan. Like you said, you can do the races that you're doing now, but then there's also stadium races and endurance races and trail races. Have you tried the trail races yet?
I really want to try the trail races. I was talking to Tristan about that recently, and I'm thinking of maybe going to Ottawa this summer to try them. I
Yeah.
actually asked after Worlds this year because I saw that they were running them at Worlds.
Hmm.
After I finished the Beast, I thought like there might still be another heat of the trail races, so I was gonna sign up for it and do it after my Beast, but they had all finished them.
Oh, too bad. Yes. If you have not tried that yet, especially in Ottawa, It's a really fun race. It's no obstacles. It's completely in a completely different area. So it's not really on the mountain, the ski mountain. It's more rustic and rugged. There's a lot of single track. If you like that kind of thing, there's a lot of running alone too. Like if I know you like that. So
Yeah.
and for some reason that race, same thing. Maybe it's me actually. I found this year the first 11K were like I was flying. The
Did
back
you do
half,
the
not so
trail
much.
race this year?
I
Or I guess they
did.
only have the 10 and the 5 there, I
Yeah,
believe, for
they had
Spartan
actually
OCR.
they had a 21K and a 10K last year.
For
And
trail though, right?
yeah, in trail.
Yeah.
And then I did the 10K and I threw in a 5K on the Saturday, like an
Oh
open
wow.
5K. Yeah, just for fun. Because if you're going to go there, right?
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah,
was
but
looking at your Instagram a little bit and I saw that you had tried the DecaFit Ultra. I would love to do one of those.
yes, those are lots of fun too. So if you like just slogging it out for 4 or 5 hours, that's the race for you as well. Have you done some Deca fits and Decas?
There's a gym near my house that has run a couple of the Deca Strong and Deca Mile. So I've tried one of each of those. I qualified for Worlds this year in my age group. I think I was
Nice.
seventh and ninth in the two
Yes,
events.
I
But I
actually
think
think I
I
saw
would
that.
prefer to do the. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd prefer to do the Deca Fit one that has more
Mhm.
running. I think I'd be stronger at that one. But I'm trying the Deca Atlas Peak for the first time this weekend, coming
Oh,
up actually.
nice. That will be a very interesting and fun race too. Another Deca product. So here's some great options for the
Have
off
you done
season.
the Atlas one before?
I have actually, yes. And
Have you
I
done that?
Yep, I did the peak and I think I did it last March. It was very well, it was difficult
Okay.
and yeah, it was a hard race. I liked it. There are not as many of those as there are the Strongs and the other races, so that's why I haven't done it a second time. Otherwise, I'd probably do it again. And how have you been
Yeah.
training to
Yeah,
lead
I
up to
haven't
that one?
seen my studio that I've gone to lead up to that one. Well, I kind of hurt my arm a little bit in Blue Mountain, so I've been struggling to do like anything in wrist extension. So like
Oh,
the barbell thrusters, I've kind
yeah,
of just been
that's
using dumbbells,
okay. That will
but
be
I've
difficult.
been training the other movements more. Yeah.
Okay. And what does your training look like? Are you more of a runner or do you do a mix of everything?
Well, my friends will probably tell you that I'm overtraining, but I think I'm just having fun with it. And I honestly love training and the process of training just as much as competing, if not even more. I want to focus more on running this year. I have a half marathon in the spring that I'm looking at getting a personal best in, but I try to
Amazing.
run usually 4 to 5 times a week and then
Mhm.
biking or stairs once or twice a week. I usually work out twice a day too, so I usually do like one cardio workout and then one strength workout.
And you know what's great about Spartan racers is we all have different training ideas. So what you're doing, if it's working for you, you keep going with that. Not everyone can do the
Yeah,
two times a day. And if you're not getting injured or sick, then this is probably a perfect scenario for you.
yeah, I'm always so interested in listening to what other people do for training. I know Jonathan was giving me a bit of advice on adding in more hills this year, so that's something I'm excited to add in as well.
Yes, Jonathan Bouchard. He's on this podcast quite often. Actually, we're just planning the next one with him. And yes,
Oh,
he
wow.
will tell you to get on the hills all the time. He is a very fast and efficient runner, and he does quite great training programs. So he's got some great advice. All right, let's do some rapid fire questions for fun. Actually, my first one that I had, you already answered morning training or evening training. Actually, we didn't quite morning or evening.
I definitely prefer morning training. I feel like if I don't do it in the morning, it's kind of looming over me all day. But sometimes with school, and if I'm coaching in the morning and then going straight to school, I've been having to do it more in the evening. So I'm
Okay.
kind of a mix of both.
All right. Do you like the strength obstacles, like the sandbag carry, bucket carry, or would you rather do the rig style obstacles like monkey bars and twister?
I actually really like Twister, and we got to try the ape hanger at Worlds for the first time
Oh,
this past year,
nice.
so I'm excited to maybe see that again in the future and work on that. But I'd say the grip obstacles more.
All right, mountains or flat?
Um, I'm actually not sure which one I prefer. I think I might be stronger at the flat ones, but I
Yeah,
need to practice the mountains more, I think.
yes, yeah. Are you a cautious downhill runner or just all caution to the wind?
I have been really cautious in the past, and I know I feel like I'm getting past a little on the downhill, so I think this year I've improved on being less cautious, but I think I still need to work on being even less cautious than what I am.
There's great advice right there. Be less cautious. Coming from, if you're asking me, I am a very fast downhill runner. I try to fix
Oh,
my
really?
my uphill with the downhill, but I've also
Do you have
taken
any advice then on it?
I don't know if you'd want to follow my advice because I mean, at Blue Mountain, I took a double roll going down the hill.
Oh, no.
But well, actually, maybe the advice would be learn how to tuck and roll.
Yeah.
Because I got up and kept running. I was fine, but I had some practice at that. But I think just experiencing it, the more you push it, the more you're going to do well at that. So, and like Jonathan's advice was good advice.
Yes, definitely.
And sometimes I'll practice just downhill running too. So rather than, you're working on the cardio going up the hill, you're working on the leg strength, but I will do sessions where it's more about the downhill running and just control on the downhill. So rather
That's a
than,
really good idea.
yeah, so downhill sprints is one. I also like it. It's kind of like an adrenaline thing for me.
It is. I did the
Yeah.
death race this past summer as part
Oh
of a
my
team, and I
goodness.
found that it was the downhill that was my biggest weakness for sure.
Oh my gosh, you've done so many different things, especially endurance. This is amazing. I don't think you will have any trouble doing the ultra at
I hope
Tremblant.
you're right.
The next day, if you're doing the next day, don't have any expectations, but just get up and start walking if you're going to do the trifecta.
I was thinking of doing the New Jersey one actually. Have you
Oh,
done that one
nice.
before?
No, I haven't. I've heard that that one is a great one too. So, all right. So, what is in the immediate future for you? What is your next race?
My next Spartan race is going to be Phoenix in about less than 2 weeks now, actually. And I've decided to make the jump from age group to elite. I think I'll still do age group for the national series next year, but I
Absolutely.
think like looking long term and at my future, it's going to push me a lot more to race with the elites.
Absolutely. It will push you, it will skyrocket you. And you'll also get a lot of advice from the ladies, especially the Canadian ladies. Just being around them will elevate you. They're such a group of
Yeah.
fantastic women. Actually, I heard that you had a very exciting race at Blue Mountain for the Elite 10K. You should tell me a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
it
Was that
was
your,
very exciting.
yeah, was that your
I
first elite
actually,
race?
well, last year when they had like kind of the competitive and elite combined,
Mm-hmm.
I podiumed in Red Deer. I got third overall and then second overall in Kelowna in the 10K later on. But this was my
Amazing.
first time this year entering in the elite.
Mm-hmm.
I know like Kim and Sabrina, my friends, have been pushing me to do it for a while, but I think like kind of the confidence just wasn't really there. So
For
it was a
sure.
good opportunity to start with it in Blue Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Leanne started out ahead of me a little bit, and then I was ahead of her for a while. She flew through the Olympus, and I missed that one. And then
Mm-hmm.
going into the village, I ended up getting the lead on Leanne. I think mostly because my friends were all there cheering me on, which was really
Nice.
helpful. And then I had the lead on her by quite a bit when she missed the multi rig, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I missed my spear throw. And then I
Uh,
just had like my 20-second burpee, and she nailed her spear throw. And then she ended up beating me by about 30 seconds.
oh, those spears.
But it was a really exciting race.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so exciting. And I find those ones are my very favorite ones, even though I'd rather just get my place and run. Like my brain thinks, oh, just run and do your thing. But it is so exciting when you're so close and wondering whether you can just give it a little bit more gas. But that spear thing was a very, especially at the end where it was, and I mean it's always at the end.
Yeah.
The 30 burpees has changed the game too,
Yeah,
making
it sure
you
has. But I nailed my spear throw in the open 5K for the very first time
Oh,
later
good
that
for
day, so I was
you.
happy with that.
That's amazing.
I've never
Well,
gotten it before.
oh, that's good. Well, luckily, it is something you can train for too. But I've learned this year that it's actually a huge mindset thing because last year I went, I think, 9 for 10, and I bragged about it on the podcast that I
Wow.
went 9 for 10, and I was like, I can never miss the spear. I was at 9 for 9. It was just before Blue Mountain, and then I ended up missing one of the spears, so I didn't have a perfect race year, but that was kind of the joke.
Oh
And then they
no.
put in burpees this year, and I literally did not get a spear all year until the 10K race and then the
Seriously?
5K. Yeah, my brain just
Oh
went, no, you're doing
wow.
burpees every time. Uh, and for some reason I could not. But then after I got it for the that time, I think I'm good now. I think I will get it
Yeah,
more
I
than I
hope
don't get
so.
it. Yeah, once you kind of master it, that's a trainable skill too. So you'll there's a way to make those spears. If you want, I will send you what I made out of. It's basically the same as the Spartan
Yes,
one,
I would love that.
out of a broom handle and a
Okay.
giant
Yeah,
nail and
definitely send that
epoxy.
to me.
So very easy to make, and then you can practice.
Okay.
Never miss
Neat.
that
Yeah,
spear
I'll have to
and
practice in my backyard.
Awesome. Well, I know you have a little bit of downtime right now because you're also a student. Hopefully, you're relaxing, or maybe you're training, getting ready for Phoenix. But I won't keep you for very much longer. This was an awesome interview. I look forward to seeing and hearing how you do in the next couple of weeks, and also for the season for next year.
Yes, thank you very much. And it was such a cool opportunity to get to talk on with you on your podcast here. I almost feel
Ex
like a celebrity.
Well, you can't go around just winning everything and not get something.
Thank
But
you.
also, we'll have to do it again. A lot of the people that we interview, we like to talk again and catch up and find out how you're doing. And I'm sure that you are a name that we will be seeing a lot more of, and we're all excited about that. So congratulations,
Oh, thank
and
you so much.
yeah, looking forward to your next great race.
Thank you. And looking forward to meeting you at Tremblant probably next year.
Yes.